Ignition sequence starts. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Liftoff. We have a liftoff.
Hey everybody, this is the Digital Asset Investor, and before I get going, I wanted to make you aware there's 2 Cyber Monday sales. Today's the day. We've got Pure VPN, who I tell you this all the time. 2 things you got to have if you're going to be buying crypto. You got to have an antivirus software, and you need to have a virtual private network so you can surf the web anonymously. Pure VPN's got 88% off on their 5-year plan, and it's today only. So I'll put this link in the top of the description. And I'm also going to put this one in the top of the description of this video. Buy one on Unstoppable Domains. Buy one domain, get one free, and it's only for 24 hours. This one ends on November the 30th. So check them out. Now, the market has got hit over the last 3 or 4 days, and then it started to make a comeback. Now we're at $2.5 trillion in this market, and if we look down here, XRP's up over 6%. Looks like it's trying to cross back over a dollar. So I don't really sit around and worry about this kind of stuff a lot, the day to day and the movement. Now I wanted to show you the crazy times we live in. Many of you out there, I don't talk about, there was a while back when saying this word right here would get your channel, you'd get and nobody even said anything, but you couldn't say this. And so I don't talk about this whole topic on this channel. They would literally ding your channel if you even spoke that word. So this word, this is the new this of this, okay? And so this is how crazy the world we live in is now. There happens to be a crypto that's got the same name, and that crypto went crazy because they just started talking about this new this of this. And let me pause for a second. How sick and crazy is it that I live in the United States of America, and I'm having to play this stupid game? How sick is it? How scary is it for my children's future and your children's future if you live in the United States? And other parts of the world are even crazier, maybe. I don't know. But how crazy is it that we have this kind of, let's say what the word is. It's called censorship in the United States of America. Unbelievable. Scary times, folks. Scary times. Now, I wanted to, a lot of times over Thanksgiving, if you drop a piece of news, I was concerned that some of the news may have been overlooked or not seen. So what I did is I took the Charles Gasparino, Eleanor Terrett opus, their article, retweeted it again. I said, let's make sure nobody in Congress missed this due to Thanksgiving. Please retweet to Congress. I sent that to Warren Davidson, and of course that's the article, by some miracle, this shows you, folks, these people are watching, okay? These elected officials are seeing what we're putting out, and we want them to see what we're putting out because it's important. This stuff is important. The people in the United States do not want a country where we have government that picks winners and losers. All we want is a level playing field. And I say it 1,000 times on this channel. We say a lot of negative things about Ethereum right now, but we're only doing it because it's not right what's going on. And if we didn't have all the video and the timelines that we have and didn't know what happened and what got us here and the things that went on, then we wouldn't be so angry about it. But I don't want anything bad for Bitcoin. I don't want anything bad for Ethereum. I want all digital assets to do well on a level playing field. If they can't survive in a free market on a level playing field, having to compete head to head with other digital assets that might do better, might not, then they don't deserve to be on the field. That's all we've ever wanted. Okay, it's all we continue to want. Well, Warren Davidson apparently saw this thing going around this morning, and he says, this could be resolved and prevented by passing my bipartisan Token Taxonomy Act so that investors, innovators, and regulators have a bright line standard defining what is and what is not a security. The Token Taxonomy Act should be noticed for upcoming 12/8 FSC hearing. So that's the hearing that's coming up. Wanted to show you this. Now, many of you who have been around for a while, you know that we're not allowed to talk about this word right here either. This is one of those words that can get you in trouble with the cancel culture, but ProCoinNews.com put it up today, and I had to show it. White House has blacklisted 8 Chinese quantum computing companies. Now, anytime I've brought this up, all I've ever heard, oh, we're 15 years out, and maybe we are, but maybe we're not. This seems to be quite the topic right now. Now, let's move along. Then we had this. This person had tweeted out, the reason the Cardano FUD is so loud is that it represents the most legitimate alternative to the existing Ethereum ecosystem that the industry has been built around, and one that has made many influential players very rich. Our network activity continues to increase despite this. Charles Hoskinson, who is normally quiet on this topic these days, has weighed in. He says, and they are terrified because there doesn't need to be some magical Cardano 2.0, or he said 2, but he meant 2.0, to survive. It's a future-proof design, and we are systematically building towards it together with the strongest and most engaged community brick by brick. And Charles Hoskinson is basically saying what we've been saying. Look, I'm all for Ethereum 2.0. I own Ethereum. If Ethereum 2.0 can ever come out and compete with a Cardano, like he says, that doesn't need a 2.0, then fine. But don't try to have a government that's going after certain digital assets and leaving alone some others that have, to quote this guy, made many influential players very rich. That's a problem, folks. And that's the problem we've been highlighting. We're not highlighting it to bash Ethereum or anything else. We're highlighting it because Ethereum, where these conflicts of interest seem to reside. It's the conflicts of interest that we have a problem with, not Ethereum itself. And I'm under no belief that Ethereum is somehow going to go away and we're beating it up to try to make. That's not what the point is. The point is the conflicts of interest. We can't have this in what's supposed to be a free market. That it doesn't make any sense. Now, I wanted to show you this. This is the second time. These people at CNBC have intentionally they hardly ever talk about Ripple or XRP. They've done it twice in 1 week. Now, the volume is real low on this. Let me go back. I'm going to crank the volume up because it's very low in this video clip.
Look at the rebound in crypto prices across the board right now, because it's not just Bitcoin that's been taking off. Across the board, you're going to see gains of 3-4% for most of these cryptos. Right now, Ripple up by about 5%. Again, though, these were the ones that suffered the most on Friday. Bitcoin was only down.
So she mentions Ripple. It was mentioned again on CNBC last week. This, my friends, if I had to place my bets, I would say what this is called is face saving. These people know, make no mistake, they know what they've done over the last few years to intentionally not talk about Ripple and XRP while they talk up Bitcoin and Ethereum. These people have had a narrative and they know it. And it's not just them, it's also people on CNN. Julia Chatterley hasn't spoken a freaking word about this Jay Clayton SEC fiasco. Not a word, and we've put it in front of her 1,000 times. And I thought that she was one of the people who was fighting the good fight on CNN or in traditional financial media. She has proven otherwise. Not a freaking peep out of her. Shameful. Okay, now, Joseph Grundfest. Now, I want to make sure we're clear here. I think Joseph Grundfest, look, there are a lot of, like I've said this before, like Nancy Wotas. I've said I think she's one of the good guys in the venture capital working group and all that. I think Joseph Grundfest is ultimately one of the guys that wants all digital assets to succeed. And I think that's the reason for some of the things I'm about to show you, that he was involved in them. I think he saw the big picture. But this, you have to see what I put together here, because it shows you what some of the people who I believe were nefarious, and then it shows you how he was. I think he was helping in good faith here. I think the SEC at the time, before the Ethereum pre-sale, was probably trying to help in good faith. The problem comes in where you treat the SEC does backflips to want Ethereum to get through each door, but then goes after Ripple and goes after XRP. That's why I wanted to show you this. So first, let's lay it out. So Joseph Grundfest, he helped Ethereum. Now this is not, I'm not saying that he was trying, that's what his thought was. This is the words of Joseph Lubin, and you'll see it in a second. Pre-ICO, he helped Ethereum create reality pre-ICO. SEC loved the idea. Venture Capital Working Group member. He was a Venture Capital Working Group member. He helped get the Ethereum free pass. Thought most ICOs were securities/frauds. Then he advised Clayton, before Clayton dropped the lawsuit on Ripple, that going after XRP and not Ethereum would raise fundamental fairness questions about the SEC. So now you need to watch the video. And I was talking to my father, the official father of the Digital Asset Investor channel, yesterday, and he told me that if he were me, he would read this Joseph Lubin quote over and over and over. He said he'd start my channel every day with it, because you need to understand. I read it to my dad, and I said, Dad, what does this, when I read this to you, what do you hear? And I won't use the word that he used, but in so many words, the official father of the Digital Asset Investor channel thought this was one of the shadiest things that he had heard come out of this guy's mouth. Let's read it again. In that process, we pretty much, this is Joseph Lubin, we pretty much defined what Ethereum is and what Ethereum is. We've pretty much defined what Ethereum is and what Ether is. Lubin said, I realized that we had an opportunity to tell people what this is. And there was a good chance that they were just going to accept our understanding and that we could create reality that way. And it seems to have worked. We seem to have created reality. Language is consciousness. They defined Ether as a crypto fuel, which one needs to run programs and store data on the Ethereum system. Would at a meetup, this last part's not important. So the first part of this, I had this going, and then I'm going to get to the next part. Ready? Go.
Head of the SEC is a gentleman by the name of Joe Grundfest. If anybody's familiar with the SEC, he's probably the most prolific chairman of the SEC of the last 75 years. And sheepishly the next morning said, I said, after our third drink last night, we came up with this concept, and I said we, because I didn't want to say me, and I said, can we say this is a good, because it actually forms some kind of function if you have to send it and you have to use this gas to send it. And I said, I'm sure it doesn't work, right? Okay, that's fine. And I got a pause for about 10 seconds, ready to say that was the stupidest idea I've ever heard. And his response was, that's brilliant. And said, I think that could actually work. Spoke to some folks at the SEC. They loved the idea. They thought that actually made a lot of sense.
Together with two academics, Joe Grundfest and Adam, as well as NVCA, and we sat down and came up with a safe harbor that we felt we could, in fact, suggest to the SEC that they start their thinking in that direction.
What's taking the Securities and Exchange Commission so long in terms of initiating actions to shut down many of these ICOs, many of which are pretty blatant frauds?
ICOs are fraud, speculative, and speculation drives innovation. So they're very important in creating foundational infrastructure.
Then this right here. This is John Deaton, actually in the last few days. This is a quote from Joseph Grundfest. Imposing imposing security law obligations on XRP while leaving Ethereum untouched raises fundamental fairness questions about the exercise of commission discretion. And that was, I think that was like a letter that he wrote to Jay Clayton. So again, I want to repeat, I'm not saying Joseph Grundfest is a bad guy. I think he's a good guy. I think he's like Nancy Wotas. I think he was thinking of the industry and how this technology could help the world overall, the U.S. overall. That's what I think. But I think that in hindsight, he is kind of like Nancy and saw this and what is going on here. And I think that with some of these people in this story, and Jay Clayton will have to answer for himself, but I think some people in this story are going to ultimately have to answer to what in the world was going on with the shenanigans of this thing. Because it doesn't make it, I don't think it made any sense to Nancy Wotas after the fact or Joseph Grundfest. Now, I want to remind you, Linqto, one of my sponsors, linqto.com. It's only for accredited investors now. So they are fully subscribed on Ripple, but I was told they're going to add more of it, I think this morning. So you need to be checking out Linqto if you were one of the people that was trying to get it. These things, this stuff hasn't been lasting long, but that's Ripple private equity, which is different from XRP, which is a digital asset. Ripple is a company, and you can buy the private equity if you're accredited on the Linqto platform. I'm the digital asset investor. I'm not an investment advisor. This is for entertainment purposes only. Please subscribe, hit the like button, and tell your friends and family that I think there's going to be some Ripple equity on this platform here in this morning.